We got the old school rapper Spice One in the news headlines today. The West Coast legend then took to a live post talking about that he felt that he was being blackballed and hated on by a whole bunch of niggas in his record label. But I'm going to tell y'all the true facts, you know what I mean, raw and uncut. But first, y'all need to hit that post notification bell button so it's been a loop every time I drop another video. And I'm going to get straight to it. Yeah, man, that boy Spice One felt like he could have really blew up, but it was somebody holding him back. You know what I mean? They was pushing the stop button on his music, but I'm gonna let y'all know what really happened. You know what I mean? Truth be told, you know, after his sixth album, he had done fell off. He was through. You know what I mean? But the game was changing. You know what I mean? Because he was signed to Jive. He had a slave contract to where he had to do like 6 or 7 albums. And, you know, he completed his whole contract, but he had a standard deal from early on because he signed for a whole bunch of albums. You know what I mean? And he was saying he was getting hated on, but it was only so many people that was touching your albums. You had Hank Banks over there. You didn't have E-40, didn't even come over there to do too many records with you. You know what I mean? You had Too Short come over there a few times, but you really didn't have a lot of features, bro. And you know, only niggas that Jive at that time was Too Short and E-40. So what you saying? Them niggas was hating on you? You know what I mean? Or was Ant Banks hating on you? Who was hating on you? Because, you know, you would start putting a whole bunch of Los Angeles niggas on your album. Like South Central Cartel, and you had MC8. You know what I mean? That's who you was rolling with. But you was from Haywood. Really, you from Bryan, Texas. You know what I mean? Because when you went solo, that's when you start fucking with everybody else from the South, like 8 Ball, MJG, and a couple niggas from Rap A Lot around that time when you went solo. You know what I mean? Now you got that Thug World label, you know what I mean? And you steady trying to build your little stuff right now, but you was already up there on the main scale, but you signed a slave deal in the begin with. You ain't made no outside investments, and none of the rappers that you signed didn't pan out to be nothing. You know what I mean? So that's really what happened to you. Nobody really didn't hate on you, but they was just in like the direction that your music was going in. Even though you did big time features with Pop and you was on Jason Lyric soundtracks and stuff like that. You had your time. #1 records. Can't take that from you. Nothing but gold. You know what I mean? But the label was trying to do something more smooth, laid back, like Too Short. So Too Short could have been hating on you. Or it could have been E-40. Who knows? Could have been a producer. Because, you know, Ant Banks touched everything. You know what I mean? And a lot of niggas was like, you got shot because you kept running your mouth. When you got shot in front of your mama house in your car, some niggas ran up on you and shot you. You saying they was trying to rob and this and that. Nigga know where your mama stayed. Nigga know who you was. Nigga know you was the target, bro. That is what it is. How you really fell off, because niggas was like, you really not living like that. A lot of your raps fake, your chain fake, your image fake. You know what I mean? You on this gangster shit, but everybody around you on hyphy shit and some player shit. So, you know, the label really didn't want to go the direction you was trying to go. Because if they let you go, you was going darker and darker into the gangster hip hop. At that time, that scene was really oversaturated, and they was trying to clean it up. You know what I mean? So by the time Tupac died, all your shit fell off. All you can talk about is stories about Tupac. You know what I mean? Do interviews and shit. Even though you got talent, but you know, your music is in a shell. You know what I mean? So if you're not listening to gangster rap, you're not gonna want to listen to you. You know, you got to go ahead and venture out and do songs with different type of artists. You know what I mean? You got to do crossover songs, and you didn't never do that. You know what I mean? You didn't do no songs with Jermaine Dupri, or you didn't go holler at Wu Tang and do all these other features like you're supposed to, even though you did some shit with Method Man, but you should have reached out to more uh, artists on your label instead of just going on tour with them. You should have just been more. You should have been more giving with your music and spread your music out a lot more. And you know, you probably would have been still in the game, but the record labels was probably trying to get you to do that, but you kept wanting to go gangster, so they just go ahead and cut all ties with you, and you didn't really get no more money, cause only time you got money is when you drop another album. You know what I mean? But you signed a big contract. All y'all niggas back in the day signed them 10, 15 album contracts, 10 album contracts, 7 album contracts. Y'all ain't gonna never have no real money because, you know, everything ran and owned by the company. They get you your house, they buy your cars, you call them when you need money, and then when they cut you off, now you feel like you got blackballed when you didn't get your way, but you signed to Jive. You got comfortable. How E-40 done made it, they got 4, 5, 6 different labels they was on. You didn't go behind they strategy. You tried to go independent when you should have kept making different decisions and going major. You should have went major 2, 3 more times. You should have moved to Universal or Atlantic, a Priority, a Couch. You should have moved somewhere else and then started the Thug World. You shouldn't have went to all them little places like Real Talk and all them. You should have just kept getting that major money. And then at the end, you should have went. Uh, you should have went independent. You know what I mean? Because you trying to sell records when people giving out mixtapes. That's what really killed you. Because then you had to get into the mixtape world, and you wasn't popping. You wasn't getting the young niggas to feature with you. You wasn't getting Spotted Little, 40 Glock, whoever was hot. You know what I mean? At that time. You didn't get them. You didn't get Willie North Pole. You didn't get Freddie Gibbs. You didn't get no hot cats. You know what I mean? To like build your credibility in a new age. You just kept doing your own shit, and that shit got old and outdated. And you walk around with bandanas and shit, cheap shit on, fake jewelry, you know, $5 tees. That shit ain't gonna work in a new age rap. It don't matter how good you really was. It just how much you investing in your raps nowadays. You're giving your money, you putting money into something to give it away, and then you want to look good when you presenting it, showing everybody, and then you get money off of it by doing the shows. That's how it go now. You know what I mean? You can't be looking all busted and you pay for money and you want people to like it, but they go look at another artist who invested in themselves, they gonna listen to them. So Machine really made this man. If he feel that he got blackballed when he was successful with about 5 or 6 gold albums, you know, with Major pushing him. When he ain't had no Major pushing him, he ain't got nothing. He ain't nobody. You know what I mean? It just show you how the record companies work. This man felt like he was blackballed, but he was in his own lane, in the gangster lane, and he chose really what he wanted to do and who he wanted on his album. And you know his own niggas hated on him. But I think, man, he just really hurt his own career by not spreading out his wings and fucking with everybody. Peace, I'm out.